What's going on, team? It's your boy G, and we back at it again with another movie review. Today we're gonna be covering none other than the Super Mario Bros. Movie, bro. This is one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and I'm super excited to get into this, man. So first things first, my main question going into this movie was, how are they gonna connect the Mario universe to, like, the real world? With everything that we saw in the trailer at the beginning of this movie, Mario's just a regular dude. So bridging that gap and then explaining that in a simple but effective way is really important, especially when it comes to a big franchise like Mario. So if you mess up the origin story, what was the point of the whole movie? Now, I'm gonna be real, bro. Like, I really love this movie, from the animation to the cast to just the world in general. They really brought the Mario universe to life with this movie. It was really like nostalgia overload, but in the best ways, because it was really like the subtle things, from like the music to just the little character specific animations that we end up paying attention to, because that's what makes each of these characters unique. And then something that I always harp on in these movie reviews is just the movie to trailer ratio. Like, that jump was pretty clean. Now, is this a perfect movie? No. Is it really, really close? Yeah. Alright, so this is usually where movies really start to take a dive, right? Because you got all this cool stuff that you do for the fans. You got all these cool animation stuff to look at. But what is this movie really talking about? Like, that's the real question. So you would think that if they're going to fail anywhere, it would be in the plot. But I'm going to be honest, bro, I don't really think they did. This movie was perfectly paced for the amount of content we got. I mean, the movie was only like an hour and a half. And they were somehow able to seamlessly fit like almost 40 years of lore and content into an hour and a half movie. And on top of that, like, I never really lost interest in what I was watching, which is kind of surprising, because the plot was never really in question. Like, if you play any Mario game, it's literally the same thing over and over again. It's just that the setting and situation changes, right? So when it came to the plot in this movie, one thing I really liked was that I feel like this movie was all about showing more than telling. Like, instead of just telling us everything we need to know about the Mario universe and how magic and powers work and who are the authorities and all this other stuff, they showed us. Whether it was the initial training montage that Mario did with Peach, or it was getting to see how a Mario Kart was made. Don't even get me started with what Bowser did to the Penguins, but they were continuously able to raise the stakes in a way that kept things fresh while also serving the plot, so that we still, get from point A to point B. Because what really matters is what happens in the middle, right? And don't get me wrong, like, there were some iffy things that happened in this movie, such as when Bowser shot the big old bullet at Mario that instantly transported everybody that needed to be there to the real world for the final arc of this movie. Like, I can let that one slide just because it was kind of more of an instantaneous thing. But as far as like arc to arc, I don't really have no issues with this joint. And then you combine that with like how it ended with like the final battle, final arc of the movie, where we really got to see Mario become a true hero and face his fears and create one of the sickest moments with his brother. Like, they literally did dynamic entry from Naruto, bro. Like, I don't know, like, we really got to see like all the little breadcrumbs like really build up to something that didn't even necessarily need to be groundbreaking, but it needed to work, and that's what it did. That's really all I got for the plot itself. Let's get into my final thoughts. Alright, so like, one of the biggest things that, this movie was able to show me that I wasn't really expecting was how they're able to take the 2D elements from like the OG games and the way that they use the camera to give us that nostalgia factor that maybe if you weren't into Mario or, 2D platformers back in the day, you wouldn't really recognize, because a lot of stuff happens fast paced, which is why I can't wait for it to come to streaming, because I just want to look at those scenes over and over again. It's honestly, like, they're really beautiful. Like, and you get to see all of these different characters' unique moves put into motion, put into play. And you combine that with how beautifully this movie was freaking animated. Like, Illumination go crazy, right? How could you not love this movie? Like, that's just how I feel. And I might be a little biased, but I don't know. I feel like the story was like simple, but impactful in the ways that it needed to be. And then some things that might get underlooked is probably like the music. I talked a little bit about it earlier. It wasn't just the songs that they innovated, it was the sounds, bro. And it just built evolved into something beautiful that, you know, really took the world and brought it to life in a way that, like, I don't know if we're gonna see anything like that for the rest of this year, bro, regardless of what's finna come out. Like, y'all know me, bro, like, I don't really watch stuff multiple times like that unless like I really mess with it, and I would definitely watch this more than once. And the IMAX theater made it even better. Now if we was able to see that joint in 3D IMAX, that just, I don't know, that might do something. But it's just like, yo, they really just completed the mission, bro. Like, and you know, even on the podcast with Chris this week, like Chris said, you know, that he feels like this movie might be a little safe when it comes to some of the decisions that they decide to make with the plot. But, you know, thinking about it now, I honestly think when it comes to like these legacy brands, these legacy franchises, I'm okay with the first movie being safe, or I would rather them get it right the first time and then maybe on the sequel start taking some chances. Because if your marquee character sells well, that's gonna give them all the incentive to do the next Donkey Kong or Luigi's Mansion or whatever might come next, bro. Like, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section, because I'm curious on where y'all kind of stand with it. For the G-File score for this movie, bro, I gotta give it a 10 out of 10. This is a must see movie, bro. Not because I'm the biggest Mario fan in the world, because I'm not, bro. The last time I played Mario was probably like on the DS. It's because this movie is literally made for everybody. It's made for the kids, it's made for the adults, it's made for the people that love video games, it's made for the people that never even picked up a Game Boy. Like, they did their thing with this movie, and yeah, I'm standing on it, bro. Sometimes when you know, you just know. And that's all I gotta say. But if you enjoyed this video, man, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. These joints do take a lot of time to put together, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content. Like I said earlier, let me know what y'all thought of the movie in the comment section. I'm holla at y'all in the next one, man. Y'all be easy, y'all know the vibes. Always keep growing, so you going to be boy G. No doubt. Peace.